I'm Jerry Murphy, Sean Regan, and I'm sitting beside the world champion here. I'm feeling 4 times world champion, Beats me.
Are you ready for me? My name's Wayne Bridges, and with the help of Frank here,
You're sitting next to the world champion.
we help to run the reunion. I'm coming to you. Frank helps mostly with the reunion. It's down to him that it's run as it is. As you've seen today, it's all Frank that does all the work. We sit back and take the glory.
Yeah.
And sitting beside me is a very dear friend of mine, came into business roughly the same time. Sean never stayed here to work for the belt that I was lucky enough to have. He saw a better future for himself in Germany and South Africa and Japan, and that's where he went to.
So, Bill, it must be great for all you guys. It's the 21st anniversary this year. Just to see all the guys keep coming back continuously year after year. It's been a long time since it come off the TV, yet you've still got this dedicated audience.
Yeah, what happened was, it was very easy at the beginning. The first one we did was in the garden, and I think there was only 6 or 8 boys. The second one that got momentum going was done in the Dazzler Joe Cornelius's pub in the West End. And then it came to me, and it stayed with me ever since. But all it was at the beginning was just the boys, and of course there was a lot of us around in those days. But sadly, and in them days, I was one of the youngest ones, along with Sean here. And then over the period of years, obviously you lose them. But Frank then came into the fold, and Frank was running a school of wrestling called Dropkicks, where he was teaching them the world of sport type of wrestling, not the American type. He was teaching them proper wrestling. And so Frank said, look, I've come along, and he's got all this way of manipulating things and making them bigger and better because he promoted himself, so he knows how to do it. So what he done, he involved the youngsters into the reunion, and hence it's never lost its capacity and size of wrestlers. We've been fortunate enough to sort of keep the same amount of wrestlers. And then Frank's in constant contact with the Cauliflower Alley Club, which is a sort of with a sort of younger brother to that. We're the second largest reunion in the world, Cauliflower Alley Club being the largest. Frank's in contact with them, and they've actually been here and seen how it's run, and they prefer it run our way to their own.
Yeah. Traditional, like British wrestling,
Yes.
traditional. I mean, since World of Sport went off the TV, there's not really been any shows that have replaced it, is there?
No.
Was that, for you guys, was that probably the happiest days of your life back then when you was wrestling?
Oh,
Well, I'm not sure whether some of it was, we were very young and very fit and very, very powerful wrestlers. I mean, really, I couldn't compare. I went to see some wrestling here, and I thought to myself, well, the modern guys could not live. I really believe could not live with people like Bill, like Frank Rama, and even myself, But happy, in retrospect, yeah, they were very happy days, and I wish I could do it all over again. No question about that. But it was hard. I mean, there was no such thing as sprung rings or anything like that. It was hard rings we were wrestling in, and it went down to the wire very, very often. He nearly blinded me in one match in Walthamstow. Things could get out of hand. Also the travelling, we had a hell of a lot of travelling to do in those days. I'm not talking about the trips that we made to Japan or to South Africa or Canada or America. We both were. Yeah, there were happy days, but in retrospect. And what the happiest thing for me, coming all the way from South Africa to see people like Frank, to see people like Bill, it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. Trouble is, when I think about them, when I see him, when he was at his prime, or Frank when they were at their prime, I mean, magnificent specimens of manhood. And then I come here and I see like Bill's now suffering from the injuries that they got in the ring. Frank, fortunately, escaped a lot of it, but my own injuries, I'm cut here, I'm cut here, I'm cut here. My body's taking a hell of a hammering. And I wonder what the guys looking at me are thinking. Are they thinking the same thing? Hey, when Sean Regan was in his prime, he was like 6'3" and he was 240 pounds and that. Where have all the flowers gone?
How do you feel about the like nowadays? Obviously, there's a lot more high flying, extreme wrestling.
Well, this is what we were saying. You see, again, if in the 80s you served your apprenticeship, you would preserve that style. Now, as time evolves, you would add to it with a little bit of flourish and a bit of air and a bit of this. When I had drop kicks, we were teaching that. We taught, this is a link up, this is a wrestling. You can't entertain someone and make it flowery if you can't do it properly. There's no point in you being a wrestler if you can't fall over. So we teach you 7 ways to fall over. We would teach you how to take a leg and arm. You don't just say link up, you say why do you link up? What's the purpose of a link up? So that you can actually hook in and pull and bring them down if you so wish it. Once you've learnt that ethic, then you can make it flowery. But what's happened, it stopped, and all the boys packed up or went abroad. And Vince McMahon brought in the American WE nonsense, and no one knows how to wrestle, not even the Americans. And so you've got this void. Now comes the boy Yorgos that you saw get the award today, and he thinks, well, I can't do what they did, I don't know how to do it. No one's taught me. So that's what we did. We tried to bring that gap together. And all of a sudden, Yorgos can wrestle with Johnny Saint, and he's thinking, oh my God, this is an honour. And he's got a master teaching him a master class. And that's what we tried to do, but there's not enough of us left to do it. So Sean can't do that anymore, and Bill can't do it. And only talk about it.
You know what's an awful pity, though, Frank? Sorry. What's an awful pity? A lot of the holds. I'm talking about the shooting holds. You were in Japan. Carl got ripped my teeth out. Remember? You know, and you saying me, Sean submit, and I wouldn't submit. Do you remember?
Yeah.
They ripped my teeth out. But nothing to do with that. He was a marvellous teacher. But what you was a pity, Frank, is those holes. God, I'm talking about the real shooting holes there. Gone the chicken wing, you know, and the one leg Nelson, and a lot of them.
I mean, back in their era, you had 3 types of wrestling. You had the amateur, catch-as-catch-can, which Bill and I played. That's how we met. Bill was actually in the British wrestling team. I won a couple of smaller titles, and then you try to become a pro. When you get down there and start learning professional wrestling, which is a little bit of entertainment added to what you do, you've then got submission wrestling, shoot. You call it MMA, but the shooters, the top men are called pistol men, and those shooters can rip you apart every 2-3 inches of the body.
Yeah.
So most of us didn't know it, but then you had a club called the Snake Pit in Wigan, where Jet Dempsey, Ernie Riley, Billy, I mean the names are legendary, Billy Joyce, Billy Robinson,
Carl Gotch was there as well.
Gotch. Now they were the ones who frequented it, and then away from the public shows, they'd go down there and see who could really go for it, and they would be tended to be the champions. So when you got a belt, it meant you could really handle it. And the 2 most prolific all time, you will tell me, went is Carl Gotch and Gordienko.
Gordienko, what happened to Gordienko?
He died.
He died?
And they
tell you
would
about his
take
artwork
every
in a minute.
3 inches of the body. They went
Fortunes.
You've got no idea. You'd be terrified getting a ring. You hurt one of them and they would kill you. Yeah. Carl Gotch was 73, still bridging.
Dude, hands like a doctor. You know, you remember that?
He could go up your arm.
He'll tell you because he
Go up your
lived.
Like that. Everyone was a submission. Go up your like you'd be a doctor.
Yeah.
Up that arm,
Down
down
the
the
other.
inside,
Yeah.
up your inside ear, down
Unbelievable.
your leg. Submissions all the way up and down.
And if you don't know what we're saying, if you put your hand out, you see them in pro wrestling doing that, don't you? And you think, well, there's nothing in that. But then he would squeeze in under that knuckle. Can you feel that now? Now can you feel it? Now I'm a man of 70, but can you feel it? But then just gently take that there and turn it, and that'll snap. Can you feel it? If I hold it here, it's a professional move. If I hold it here, it snaps. That's what Bill's talking about.
So you can get seriously injured if you're not wrestling with someone who's at the same level as you.
See, these men, Carl Gotch and Gordienko and Billy Joyce and Billy Robinson, they had all this knowledge, which was passed down
to people like us, yeah.
But now, when we were in the business, there wasn't any influx of new boys for us to pass it on to.
Pass it on.
So now boys of today haven't got this knowledge.
I'll tell you something about a very interesting thing as well, Bill. Our sons, I haven't got a son, I've got sons-in-law, you know. Our sons coming into the business, I'm talking like Peter Mayvier's son, people like that. Billy Robinson's son, I think Judo Hayes' son, came into the business, made a fortune in 3 or 4 years and got out of the business. Whereas we stayed in, I stayed in the business far too long. Yeah.
I don't know if any of you saw the film The Wrestler.
Yeah,
We were involved
Mickey,
with
some
that.
of
Mickey
them.
Rourke.
Yeah,
And we were involved with that through that young promoter that was here today, Sanjay.
Yeah.
And what made that brilliant wasn't the wrestling. It was the story he was telling you that you can feel like shit. You've got signing autographs with zero and crutches. And then the audience arrive, and then you're sitting there like this in the dressing room, and then you walk through the doors and you go, and you're an athlete. That's what he was telling you in the story. It wasn't about the
The
wrestling.
punters never saw that. They never saw the pain we went through. We never saw, like, I've seen him standing in the corner of the ring like this. He's bent up, been wrestling some hard over ring, and he's bent all sideways.
You've got to go somewhere else tomorrow night. You can't play up.
Or the guys would straighten him out in the dressing room.
Yeah, how do you feel about, it's your pub obviously, how do you feel about having it here? It must be good for you, like, it's your pub, all your old friends coming down.
It's nice to see them, but sadly, like Sean and I haven't seen for a long while. They're hardly in the time to talk.
35 years, Bill.
See, 35 years. The last time we saw each other was in South Africa.
I didn't see you in Canada, did I?
No.
Or Japan. What was it, Japan? We went to Japan?
Yeah, we went to Japan.
Kamali, is he still alive?
Yes.
Gordon,
Yeah. But then he's 90s.
Can't believe it.
Yeah. His knees are very bad, aren't they?
See, we've got the garden on the right there, under the arches,
Yes.
which is for wrestlers only. But very few of them, because they all sail with too many fans. But they don't go in there. They just that one day a year, they're stars again. Fred Bloggs becomes whoever.
Come in here, Frank. I think you've done a wonderful job.
Thank you.
To come back from all that way, I tell you what, next time I'll swim it.
Yeah.
I will. Frank, I'll be here. I'm going to come next year again. Definitely.
I heard from Stahl du Plessis this morning.
Did you?
Manny, I can't remember his surname. The Red Baron.
Manny Van Sale.
He died. The Red Baron.
Yeah.
He said to tell you.
Percy Hall's died, Freistad's died, all of them all.
I've got an obituary to the South Africans on our website.
Okay. Jan Wilkins is still alive.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's still alive. He's about 95 kgs. Old man as well now.
So you're pleased with what you see?
Oh, wonderful.
Nothing worse than to get here and be disappointed.
Frankie did a wonderful job. He's done a wonderful job. And your MC, spot on. And it was a big honour for me. Big surprise, a big honour. It really was lovely.
It's hard in the garden to get the atmosphere, even though you try.
And I've actually done it.
Last year was a bit busier because we got the Olympics this year.
But with a lot of help.
How do you feel today's gone? 21st.
Oh, it was brilliant. For me, it was brilliant. I haven't seen these guys for 35 years, you know. And it's been a brilliant, very emotional. I feel like crying all the time, sitting here, you know, choked up. And to get the award, like a Lifetime Achievement Award from people like this, and to be given it to me, I mean, Frank asked Johnny said to give it to me. I mean, I was very honoured. You know, I've got 11 degrees. I've got a BA, quite a lot of degrees that I studied while I was wrestling. I mean, the guys will tell you, I was always with a book of me. I never went to university. I was just an ordinary kid, you know. This business made me what I am. I finished up with a doctorate of philosophy in Cape Town, you know, Cape Town University. And the award that I got today meant more to me than any of those certificates.
Personal.
Because somebody said to me, well, one academic asked him, he said, he said, you know, the difference between you and me, he said, I've got degrees, he said, you just got letters after your name, and it's true. I never went to university, I was just a squatty who did my own studying, but the award I got today, I mean, like pride of place on my my wall.
Look at it every day.
Yeah, because this
From your
business,
own.
this business and these people were like family to me.
In the toilet.
No, we want it back.
Yeah. Oh no, we have to recycle it
How
next
about
year.
I only bought it now.
No,
I've
name
got-
comes
I've
off and
got
someone
the- I've
else
got
leaves
the
it.
ones in the box I've got back for Etsy already, and I just changed the.
So that's how I feel about it. I feel very emotional.
Congratulations on your award anyway.
Yeah, I'm so chuffed with it. And I didn't expect to get it. You know, I heard a whisper.
stood
You
up
know?
all the way through.
Lovely.
So for you, Wayne, how do you feel today's gone?
Every year for me is a
Yeah.
surprise because it always brings new people in. I mean, as I said, this year we've got Sean. Sadly, the Olympics has stopped all the boys from Spain coming in because they don't want the air. And with I get to see old friends from America in. Because if they're anywhere in Europe with Frank's connection there with them on the website, they call it for aid. I mean, if they're in Germany, they'll fly over for us and come to the reunion. So every year is a surprise for me.
We don't actually know who's going to turn up till they get here.
Bill, Frank, thank you very much for having
It's a
us.
pleasure.
Yeah, because you're booking me back down. Can you get it?
Thank
Can
you.
give to Frank?
I hope that's some use to you.
That's brilliant.
We hadn't seen
Thank
this.
you.
Hey, it was lovely meeting you. All the very best here.
Turn it back on.
Wasn't that good, but we make a fuss of it.
Hey.